Hey guys, welcome back. It's your guy. It's your boy. That felt stupid and dumb. Apologies. That won't happen again. Anyways, so on a lighter note, we have news from Plarium. I know I'm getting this to you late. It is currently 9:38 at night on the 24th of February. I worked all day, worked a 13-hour shift, well, because that's what you do. And then yeah, so I read this. I watched a bunch of other content creators kind of cover this thing, and it's just it's crazy to me that everybody can be in agreement on something except the people making the rules. Like, there's no really behind the scenes thing that we don't understand to why a certain thing is the way it is. Do you know what I'm saying? So let's just kind of we'll read this and then I'll break all that weird gobbledygook I just mumbled out of my mouth hole down to you. So we have here time flew, flurry of arrows from Cold Howard's bow. And we found ourselves here in late February, while brave Telerian warriors defend their realm from the demonic legions with all their valor and determination, striking down the dark forces who threaten the light. We invite you to start reading today's raid digest. Let's go. Okay, Tarast and Marichka. So people have been complaining because this pairing is super overpowered and it's all in Plat Arena right now, and it's really hurt the meta. Like when Sify and Rotos were introduced and Rotos was just an asshole, like his A3 automatically blocked a revive, and I think it hit harder too. I can't remember. That is exactly how people are feeling right now with Tarast and Marichka. I would argue more so Taras, but Marichka is also a nemesis right now to the meta. People say this couple is too fierce, even by the Platinum standards. Truth be told, they both were born to be fierce and unbreakable. For now, there are no plans to rebalance them. Nevertheless, we're carefully monitoring their performance in Arena to make sure Taras and Marichka are not invincible and there's counterplay against them. Yeah, okay. So I have a little thing on this. These two are the mascots of Ukraine. I very much doubt we're actually going to see nerfs to these guys for that very reason. Um, they are overpowered. Now, I mean, OP's been thrown out a lot in the last 20 years, but these guys are legitimately overpowered and tuned. They are destroying and dominating the arena, and it looks like to the point where a lot of people playing plat don't even want to like try to contend as much as they do, because essentially you're getting forced out if you don't have Marichka and if you don't have Taras, but mainly it's Taras, right? Um, so that's that in platinum news. And then they bring up the sheep thing, which, if you've been watching my channel for a little while or any other content creator, the number one complaint is polymorph. It is a bullshit broken mechanic. It needs to get nerfed. They ended up nerfing, they nerfed Brimstone, which, this is what kills me. Something that is entirely good for the community and wasn't used as intended, but found its place and was very popular. And it was like, oh, everybody saw that as a good thing, or everybody liked that. That meme? Well, Plarium didn't like it because it made everything too easy. Especially endgame content, it made stuff faster. So they ended up nerfing it to the point to where it could be cleansed unless you're like High Awakening 5 and 6. Alright? And then they nerfed the rate at which it was applied, like the percentage. Okay, fine. You know what? Do that. That's okay. Then people found a way. They found out, much like the Norog bug, that Plarium didn't understand their own coding when they took the protection away, and they're like, there you go, boys. We're all done. Class dismissed. Good day's work. See you at the pub. Nope. They found out when they took away the protected part of that debuff, people could use Vizier Ovalius to, one, spread it, and two, increase its duration. Amazing. Well, guess what? Plarium didn't like that either, and then they're like, damn it, now we actually have to go in on a Saturday and we have to put some real work in, boys. So they went in there and they fixed it. Now Brimstone can't be transferred. It can still be cleansed, but it can't be transferred, and it cannot have its length extended. Okay, so it's working as intended, essentially. That's fine. But here it says polymorph with its sheep debuff was designed specifically for the arena, yes. Hence its effect is strong in PvP battles. No shit, James Fox. Still, it works randomly. Its chance to proc is not that huge. 5% chance of placing a sheep on the first awakening level, and a max of 20 on the highest level. Most importantly, there's counterplay against polymorph. The attacker can choose if they want to risk becoming a sheep or choose a less debuff heavy option. There are no plans to tweak it for now. Just a second. Just a second. Did they literally just say choose a less debuff heavy option? Have they not played their own game? Do they not understand how this works? Your game is based around mechanics like debuffs and abilities. You know, they've built so much RNG into Arena that it's not enjoyable anymore. You know, not like you can just farm like we used to with speed teams. I'm from old school. I've been playing the game since like it released, I think, that winter. I picked it up right after December because I was picking up a bunch of hours at another hospital. And I needed something to do while I was staying there. And I was like, oh, nice mobile game. I haven't really done this before. It used to be the arena was all slow teams, high defense. You had to use debuffs, work around it. And then the speed meta came. And then it was like Arbiter Lead, into Lysandra, into Madame Ceres when she came out, and then you Trunda nuked, or Foley that blocked revived and stuff. Then the meta changed a little bit with when Lydia came out. And then ever so gradually, the meta just kept changing and changing and changing. Tormund the Cold came out. He was way too powerful. He was way too fucking powerful. He made you hate your life. He froze everything, right? He was like the Fonz. He just, yay, and he did that and everybody was frozen. It fucking sucked. So they're like, okay, this guy was too strong. We gotta dial him back. And he was a fusion. And that fusion is known to be the worst fusion in raid history in terms of difficulty. Okay? Because back then it was bullshit. Like you could open shards to get the rares, but then you could also run dungeons like Dragon with a chance to get like Butcher or whatever. You see what I'm saying? So there have been ups and downs, is what I'm trying to say in the arena. None have been so decisive as this fucking blessing. This debuff eats assholes. I mean, I was playing arena today, and my nukers would get sheeped left and right. Like, how are you supposed to play the game? Right? You have your speed teams. You have your go second tank teams. Those still do debuffs. They're smart asses unless you're doing like Duchess into Seeker into Kendrafon into like Rasuga with no accuracy. You know what I mean? And then you have bomb teams, which are real fucking popular in the meta right now because everybody's running Stone Skin. So I want you to think about this. I've bitched about this before on another video, but I'm trying not to be a whinging fuck, but hear me out. You go into you start the match, you see the stone skin start to form like on the movie Gargoyles, but in reverse. It just boom. And everybody's stone skin. Okay. And you look and they have a Pythion, they have a Duchess, they have a Taras, and they have a Siphi. You're fucked. You are FUCK'd. It's over. Because that Siphi's going to have sheep, the Pythion's going to have sheep, Taras is going to have sheep, and so is the Duchess. So each of them is 5%, right? So that's 20% across the board. I don't remember if it's additive or multiplicative, multiplicative, right? When you add those together. And here's another thing to take into account of effect. Does not the blessing take into account each debuff placed? So if you have Ramanatu, Drake's Blood, and he does his A2 and he goes, and he does 4 or 5 debuffs, does each one of those proc for 5%? So you're looking at a 25% chance for that to happen? I mean, just think about it. This thing is backbreaking. And they want to do RTA. I don't see it happening, right? So they're saying they're not going to do anything about this right now. There are no plans to tweak it. Okay, that rant isn't over. Sorry, it's a 10-minute video already. As for the arena-related blessings such as Incinerate and Poison, we do not plan to extend their influence to PvE, which is fine. I completely understand. They do make a point here that those debuffs are amazing and essential in dungeon content, PvE content. Okay? Hence, any additional boost to them will only hurt the balance of the PvE combat, which is why they nerfed Brimstone in the first place. But it really wasn't like oppressive. You know, there was no one being hurt. There was a victimless thing. But because it made everybody else have less stress while like making teams and doing stuff, Raid didn't want that. They wanted your money, right? Where's your wallet right now? Check your pocket. Is it there? Good. Still got that crisp hundo? Good. They didn't get you yet. Stay strong. Unlike some of us. But anyways, so we continue to monitor the performance of all blessings and check the players' feedback on them all. It is quite possible that more rebalances are coming in the future, and we kindly ask you to keep sharing your thoughts with us. Also, the CVC tournament will not happen next week. Okay? So stay tuned, because as other content creators have surmised, and as I'm surmising, something big is coming. So Plarium likes to do this thing where they make new ads to see if anybody's really paying attention. It's kind of fun. They put Easter eggs in them. And one of the Easter eggs was RTA when they had that new announcement. And you're like, okay. And for those at home who's like, what is this abbreviation, this Mongoloid speaking of? It's Real Time Arena, where you and another player are actively facing each other like you're playing Magic Arena. You know what I mean? I mean, same but different. It's a live match. You know, like Pokemon. Hey, you know. Kind of like Pokemon. I think Pokemon might have started all of this. But anyways, cat's out of the bag. I think RTA is going to come out next week. That's where I'm taking my 2 little pennies and I'm throwing them in. That's what I'm putting my money on. RTA might come out next week. They've already kind of shown things about it. They haven't come out and said it right now. I'm pretty sure this is all hovering in everybody's mind, because what else could be coming out that they don't want people stressing over CVC, and they're gonna kind of push out this new thing. I think that's gonna happen. And it's gonna suck. It is gonna suck big time. And I'm gonna tell you why. Because Arena sucks, right? It's all go second teams in Stone Skin with polymorph and reaction accessories and high resistance. What are you supposed to do? Do you see what I'm saying? That's it. I hope you guys are having a wonderful weekend. I'm going to put a video out that's a compilation of every time I get sheeped. I'm not even kidding. And I'm just going to like run it with like, what's that song, honey? That 80s song. It's like, never going to give you up.
Rick Astley?
I'm going to put that Rick Astley thing, and I'm going to lose monetization on that video. Just kidding. I don't get monetized in the first place, because fuck them. Anyways, love all of you. Mwah. God bless, and take care of yourselves. I'll catch you next time. Goodbye.